Hi everybody. Welcome back to another video on my channel. So I'm gonna continue reading They Shook Hands, the Harry Potter fan fiction I was talking about earlier. You know, I've read so many Harry Potter fan fictions over the years. I've read maybe I don't know, I lost count at this point how many fan fictions of Harry Potter I've read, sorry, how many fan fictions I've read I meant. Like so many fan fictions of Harry Potter that I've read, like honestly, there's like so many of them. Like out of all the fandoms on fan fiction that that have their own stories, I think Harry Potter is the most by far. Just looking at the count, I think Harry Potter is the most by far. I'm pretty sure Harry Potter is the most anyway. But anyways, this is They Shook Hands Year 1, Chapter 2, Owl Post. So I'm going to split this video up into parts because I don't think I'll be able to fit the entire chapter into one video. So I'm going to try to split them up into parts if I have to. Let's see. We'll see what happens. All right. Chapter 2, Owl Post. So this is after Harry Potter met Draco Malfoy, became friends with him. They met in Diagon Alley. They introduced each other in They Shook Hands. Now, Harry Potter is at his uncle's house at Private Drive. Yes, at Private Drive, and I'm going to continue reading what happens after the first chapter. Okay, Chapter 2, Owl Post. The month of August was perhaps the most bearable time Harry had ever had at number 4, Private Drive. Dudley was so terrified of after having crossed Hagrid that he wouldn't even stay in the same room as Harry. Uncle Vernon and Aunt Petunia had taken to ignoring him entirely, not even giving him any chores. Although this was an improvement in many ways, it did become a bit depressing after a while. His new friend Draco Malfoy was constantly on his mind. He'd been so excited about Hogwarts and Quidditch that Harry could not help being infected with his enthusiasm. For the first time, Harry's not just concerned with surviving day to day. He was actually looking forward to something, to seeing his friend again. Draco was a friend the Dursleys didn't know about. It was something Harry had for himself. Without any chores to do, Harry kept to his room and tried to stare the Dursleys' notice. He passed time eagerly reading his school books. He wanted to do well at school, wanting to do his mom and dad proud. The books were very interesting, especially a history of magic. He lay in his bed reading all day and late into the night. Every night before he went to sleep, Harry ticked off another day on the piece of parchment he had pinned to the wall, counting down to September the 1st. He was deeply absorbed into his herbology text one afternoon, when the frantic tapping at the window startled him from his reading. Peering outside, he could see an owl hovering there. He hurried over and opened the window, stepping back to let the messenger inside. Hagrid used an owl to send Professor Dumbledore a letter and had told him the wizards used owls to deliver their post. Who could be writing to him? The eagle owl circled the room and then landed on Harry's shoulder. He grunted with a sudden weight. The bird stuck out his leg, permitting Harry to untie the letter. With a quick hop, the owl perched on the bed frame and began to groom itself. Harry opened the letter. Dear Harry, it was very nice to meet you the other day. Father and Mother sent their greetings, and they hope to see you again on the train platform. We will definitely have lots of fun once we get to school. I can't wait to introduce you to some of my other friends. First off is Theo. He's smart, but sometimes he has an attitude about it. It's easy enough to get along with if you ignore some of his more peevish behavior. I do have to tolerate him because his father was one of my tutors. Mr. Knott also tutored 3 girls: Pansy Parkinson, Millicent Bulstrode, and Tracy Davis. Pansy and Theo don't really get along, so don't let them scare you. Millie's not really girly. She's more of what Mother calls a tomboy. Pansy and Tracy are the pretty ones. They're all right as far as girls go. I wasn't sure if you got a post owl, so I told Arlette to wait for our return letter. If you could give her some toast left over from tea, she'd be grateful. If you didn't get an owl, you should get one. They're dead useful. Your friend, Draco Malfoy. P.S. Those muggles haven't been bothering you, right? Harry looked up at the owl. She had finished preening and was looking at him with her head slightly cocked to one side. She hooted gently at him. She was hungry. Come on downstairs with me, girl, he said, holding one arm out. When Arlette had perched on his forearm, he went back downstairs into the kitchen. Feeling a mite peckish himself, he put 2 slices of bread into the toaster. While he waited for them to toast, he wrote his return letter. Dear Draco, the muggles have been ignoring me, which is a blessing. I can't wait to get out of here. That day in Diagon Alley was the best ever. I never had so much fun. I can't wait to try flying. Quidditch sounds absolutely amazing. I'm sure this book I got doesn't even do it justice. I'm looking forward to meeting your friends. Thanks for telling Arlette to stick around. I wouldn't be able to reply without her. Does Ilops take postal orders? Your friend, Harry. It would do. Harry didn't know exactly how one should go about writing a letter to a friend. He'd never had friends before. He folded the paper up and looked for Arlette. She was already perched on the toaster, nibbling at the toast. She held the piece down with her talons and tore it at it with her beak. Arlet was a beautiful bird Harry could see. A very hungry, beautiful bird. A piercing shriek nearly made Harry jump out of his skin. His ears ringing, he turned and saw Petunia standing in the doorway. She had one hand pointing at the toaster. "What is that?" she screeched. Arlet calmly looked at Petunia. "Hoot. Out!" she shrieked. Harry picked up his letter and the remaining toast. Arlet lighted on his shoulder as he pushed past Aunt Petunia on his way upstairs. "Vernon!" she yelled. Clearly she had issues with owls being in the house. Harry shut out their noise as he shut his door. He handed the remaining toast over to Draco's owl and tied the letter onto her leg. "Thanks for visiting," he said, not sure how one spoke to a post owl. "It was fun." Arlet hooted at him, nipped his ear, and flapped her wings, struck out through the open window and off into the sky. Harry watched her go, wishing she could carry him away as easily. He hated here on Private Drive. There was seldom any peace. This recent stretch was the longest in his memory. He had to keep two eyes open for danger at all times if he wanted to avoid a thumping. "Boy, what is this all about? What is this about birds in the house?" Uncle Vernon was in the doorway and he looked angry. Harry's pleasure at hearing from Draco dissolved into sudden fear. He was trapped in the room. Harry wiped his clammy hands on his trousers and considered his options. Unless he wanted to go out the first floor window and jump down to the ground, Harry likely wouldn't be able to get away. He would have to talk very quickly. "It was an owl, sir. It brought me a letter." The big man's face grew guarded. "Owl, did you say?" Harry hoped it wasn't a mistake to mention owls. "Yes. You keep those things away from this house. Do you understand? No owls." "I'm sorry, Uncle Vernon. I can't stop people from sending them. Do whatever you have to do. Just get them away as quick as you can. Do not want the neighbors to ask any more questions. Bad if we have to deal with all the gossip when your ruddy school letters came." "I'll do my best, sir." "You'd better," Vernon said, pointing a thick finger at Harry. "I don't want any sort of funny business before you go." "No, sir." Uncle Vernon closed the door behind him and Harry heard his heavy footsteps going downstairs. Harry picked up his textbook again and glanced wistfully at the parchment pinned to the wall. 3 more weeks. Uncle brought another letter 2 nights later. Harry had been leaving the window open when she came back, but also to get some relief from the heat. While his room was stifling and uncomfortable, at least it was out of the Dursley's sight. They hadn't said anything to him since his last letter, and he didn't want to give them any reasons to yell again. The owl landed on the bed frame and stuck at her leg. She hooted at Harry and began bouncing her head up and down when he didn't move fast enough. Harry laughed at the ridiculous sight. "All right, I'm coming, silly bird." He untied the letter and scratched her head. Arlet nuzzled against his hand. "You like that, girl? If you stay here, I'll go make some toast." Arlet shook her head fiercely. Harry wondered if she actually understood him or if it was a reaction to all the head scratchings. He opened the letter. "Dear Harry, summer hall is still going good, I hope. I'm out on the Quidditch pitch every day trying to get as much in his flying time as I can before the train. Dia comes over a couple of times per week to give me a bit of a challenge. Sounds like you're the quaffle around, and other times we just race. He's not bad, nothing on me of course, but still quite fine in his own right, if only he weren't so smug when he manages to win. There are a couple of other boys who I'm acquainted with named Crabbe and Goyle. Father has business dealings with their fathers, and they were invited to associate with me. Their families aren't as important as mine, so they pretty much do what I tell them. They're fairly stupid, but they know their place. If those muggles get too threatening, you can defend yourself now. We're not supposed to do magic outside of school, but officially, you don't know that yet. They don't tell you until after first year is over and you start the holidays, so if you want to hex them and get away with it, now's the time. There's a few good ones in chapter 20 of your Dark Forces book. Your friend, Draco. Dear Draco. Now this is Harry's letter. Okay, this is Harry's letter. I wish I could get out and fly. The Muggles haven't been giving me any chores to do lately. I've been staying in my room a lot. It seems to make them happier when they don't see me. It would also make them happy if Arlet only came at night. They don't want the neighbors to see. Thanks. He sounds like a very interesting fellow. I'm concerned about Crabbe and Goyle. Thanks for telling me about that rule. I might take advantage of it if they push me too hard. Most of the time I can get away. Being able to defend myself is a very nice feeling. Your friend, Harry. Harry enjoyed having a friend he could write to. He realized Wizarding World was probably be much of a less scary place if he had a friend to show him around. He was about to let his first chance of friendship slip away. He always worked back immediately. As much as he enjoyed scratching Arlet, stroking her feathers, he didn't want Uncle Vernon to catch her in the house. Harry only had a few minutes to come to it while he penned his letters. They tied it to her leg as off she went again, leaving Harry alone, lonely, and impatient. Time passed very slowly, even if he was reading his school books. It was counting down to the very days on a piece of parchment and trying to be patient and long term. The letters from Draco were the only thing positive in his day-to-day, and Harry found himself looking frequently out the window after sunset in the hope of seeing Arlet returning. Draco didn't write every day, and Harry certainly didn't expect him to. Still, the nights when Arlet didn't come, Harry went to bed quite late, having waited up and tried not to feel sad. Dear Harry, no wizard should ever worry about being threatened by Muggles. There are a lot of spells we developed to keep ourselves safe. Mr. Knott told us all about flame freezing charms just a few weeks ago. It's supposed to make it feel like a warm bath, but I just soon as never had to find out. Montrose won again last night. They beat Holyhead by 70 points. They're still looking for that perfect season. The only team who can really challenge them is Portree. Ellison had an amazing night. He scored a dozen times. If he can keep it up, he'll be setting records soon. I wish we were able to go to the cup final, but we'll be in school. Father took me last year. Elon was able to go because of school, so I got to spend the day just the two of us. Father's a very important wizard, so we got to meet the team afterward. I have a call to sign with them all to picture together with them. Right back soon. Your friend Draco. Dear Draco, I can't wait to see my first Quidditch match. I feel so very excited about just getting out of this place. I think it's an awful tease to have a few hours to wander starry-eyed around Diagon Alley and be stuck back here for a whole month. Sometimes I worry this is all some cruel trick. I really will be stuck going to Stonewall. Your friend Harry. Dear Harry, wish there was a good way to escape that place. Soon enough, mate. You got years of catching up to do. I mean to see that you do it properly. I really wish there was a way to smuggle brooms to the school. We'd have a grand old time tearing around the skies. Your friend Draco. Dear Draco, I've been counting down the days. Only a few more to go. Your friend Harry. Dear Harry, it's almost here. I haven't been sleeping soundly the past few nights because I'm so excited. Been waiting to go to Hogwarts for years. It's finally happening. I gotta go fly off some of this energy. I'll see you at the station. Your friend Draco. On the last day of August, he thought I'd better speak to his aunt and uncle about getting to King's Cross Station the next day. So he went down to the living room where they were watching a quiz show on the telly. He cleared his throat to let them know he was there, and Dudley screamed and ran out of the room. Uncle Vernon? Uncle Vernon grunted to show that he was listening. My train to school leaves from King's Cross tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Uncle Vernon grunted again. Will you give me a lift? Or at least give me a fare for the train there? Grunt. Harry supposed that meant yes. Thank you. He turned to go back upstairs and Uncle Vernon actually spoke. Funny way to get to a wizard school, the train. Magic carpets all got punctures, have they? Harry's head whipped around as he glared at Uncle Vernon. What would you know about it? Where is the school anyway? Planning on visiting me, are you? Harry said, Harry's voice turning vaguely insulting. Watch your tongue, boy. You'll be walking to the ready station. Good night, Harry said, having gotten his answer. He turned back and walked up the stairs to his room. Better make sure I'm all packed. That task took very little time. All of Harry's school supplies fit easily to the shabby truck the Dursleys had given him. Most of his books fit into the cauldron, and that saved a lot of space. His robes and uniforms didn't take up much room at all, and Harry didn't know anything else to even take, aside from his hand-me-downs from Dudley. He packed it all anyway. Dursleys hadn't given him much, but Harry wasn't about to leave any of it behind. Who knew if it would still be there when we came back for the summer? Thought returning to Private Drive was nearly as revolting as that of leaving was delightful. What goes up must come down, but a lot can change in the year, he said, trying not to think of too negatively. Maybe we can just stay at school year-round. With that incredibly pleasant notion, Harry put on his pajamas and got into bed. Thought he was convinced that he was too excited to sleep. Soon enough, he was yawning. He closed his eyes and drifted off, his imagination full of the wondrous things that Draco had told him about Hogwarts. So that was Chapter 2 of They Shook Hands Year 1, Owl Post. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to continue reading They Shook Hands when I get the chance to. Just give me some time, and I'll continue reading the story when I get the chance to. I'll do my best. Yeah. Honestly, I really love They Shook Hands. It's my favorite Harry Potter fanfiction by far. Out of all the Harry Potter fanfictions I've read over the years, They Shook Hands has got to be my favorite one. But that's just my opinion. I think They Shook Hands is my favorite Harry Potter fanfiction. But that's just my personal opinion. Yeah, hope you understand. Yeah, that's the video. Take care, everybody. It's Anvil Legend, 826, out.